What is martial law? It's an extreme and rare measure used to control society during war or periods of civil unrest or chaos. Martial law is an imposition of military powers over designated regions on emergency basis. Ang martial law po o ang batas militar ay ang pansamantalang pamamahala ng militar sa lahat ng gawain o aktibidad ng bansa, lalo na kapag panahon ng gera o di kaya naman yung panahon ng emergency. At isa itong malawakang kalamidad kung saan hindi umiiral o umaandar ang kalayaang sibil.
Who is Ferdinand Marcos? Ferdinand Marcos Emmanuel Eldrelin Marcos, SR, was a Filipino politician, lawyer, dictator, and kleptocrat who was the 10th President of the Philippines from 1965 to 1986. Born on September 11, 1917. The 10th President of the Philippines and the longest to stay in office for more than 20 years from 1966 to February 1986. Was born is Sarat, Ilocos Norte, to Mariano Marcos and Josefa Eldrelin. At Sarat, Ilocos Norte, Sarat officially the municipality of Sarat is a fourth-class municipality in the province of Ilocos Norte. According to the 2020 census, it a population of 25.186 people.
On the night of September 23, 1972, Ferdinand Marcos spoke to the nation by television and by radio to make it known that he had declared martial law in the Philippines. At September 23, 1972, kinausap ni Ferdinand Marcos ang mga Filipino through television and radio para ipaalam sa buong mundo na nagdeklara siya ng batas militar. Ginawang dahilan ni Marcos ang paglakas ng komunista sa bansa. At ayon sa kanya, nakakuha sila ng armas mula sa China na siyang gagamitin upang pabagsakin ang pamahalaan at guluhin ang mapayapang buhay ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino. Marcos declared that he would place the Philippines under state of martial law, as according to the President, power described in the 1935 Philippines Constitution, such as power included command over the armed force of the Philippines to maintain in law and order as well. Nagdeklara si Marcos na isailalim niyang batas militar ang Pilipinas alinsunod sa kanyang kapangyarihan bilang isang presidente na nakasaad sa 1935 Philippines Constitution. Kasama dito ay ang kapangyarihan ng presidente na pangasiwa ng Armed Force ng Pilipinas para panatilihin ang batas at ang kayusan.
Furthermore, Marcos promised that he would use the special powers he was given in martial law to lead reforms that would lead the Philippines to prosperity and peace. Those who did not oppose his vision would live to see it come to fruition. On the other hand, those who dared to offend his rule would suffer just as any rebel would. So, ipinangako ni Ferdinand Marcos as a politician na gagamitin niya ang power ng martial law to reform and lead the Philippines. Now, within martial law, ay magkakaroon ng kaunlaran at kapayapaan dito sa Pilipinas. At in the nature of a dictatorial government, those who oppose him o sumasang-ayon sa kanya ay magbubunga yung paniniwala nila sa kanya at sa pamamalakad niya. At kabaliktaran naman sa oppose kanya o di sang-ayon sa kanya, kung saan ay ikay pwedeng ituring na at magdusa na isang rebel o maghihimagsik. Though the announcement was made on September 23, the actual document had been signed September 21, 1972 due to a special superstition Marcos had about numbers. At 7:17 p.m. on September 23, 1972, inanunsyo ni Ferdinand Marcos na ang Pilipinas ay under na ng martial law through Presidential Proclamation No. 1081. Ito'y napanood sa telebisyon at narinig sa radyo ng buong Pilipino sa Pilipinas. Pero kahit na inanunsyo ni Ferdinand Marcos ang martial law noong September 23, ang original document ng proclamation of the martial law in the Philippines was signed on September 21, 1972, 2 days before the proclamation of the martial law in the Philippines.
FM declares martial law. The headlines of the September 24, 1972 issue of the Sunday Express, which was the Sunday edition of Philippines Daily Express. The Daily Express was the only newspaper allowed to circulate upon the declaration of martial law. At that time, the Daily Express was the newspaper in the Philippines. It was better known for circulating propagandist news article related to President Marcos during that time of his regime.
President Ferdinand E. Marcos signed Proclamation Number 1081 on September 21, 1972, placing the Philippines under martial law. Some sources say that Marcos signed the proclamation on September 17 or on September 22, but in either case, the document itself was dated September 21. A week prior to the official declaration of martial law, several persons were already aware that Marcos had devised strategy to seize total control of the country. President Ferdinand Marcos imposed martial law on the nation from 1972 to 1981 to suppress increasing civil strife and threat of communist takeover following series of bombing in Manila.
In his own diary, Marcos wrote on September 14, 1972, that he informed the military that he would proceed with proclaiming a martial law. And the reason why Ferdinand Marcos wrote the proclamation 1081 or proclaiming state of martial law in the Philippines is because we want to save or to protect our nation to the threat of communists. In those days, the violence is increasing, and the only way he knows to protect the country, the Philippines, is to declare martial law or proclamation number 1081.
President Ferdinand E. Marcos signed the Proclamation Number 1081 on September 21, 1972, placing the Philippines under martial law. Some sources say that Marcos signed the proclamation of September 17 or on September 22, but in either case, the document itself was dated September 21.
The facts are clear. A week before the actual declaration of martial law, a number of people had already received information that Marcos had drawn up a plan to completely take over the government and gain absolutely rule. Senator Benigno S. Aquino Jr. during a September 13, 1972 privilege speech exposed what was known as a Plan Sagittarius. A Plan Sagittarius is the top military plan given by Marcos himself to place Metro Manila and outlying areas under the control of Philippine Constabulary as a prelude of martial law. But then, on September 13, 1972, Benigno S. Aquino Jr. exposed the plan in his privilege speech. And because of that, it results chaotic thinking to Filipino.
Is to foresee possible problems one may have to face in the future and to determine what solutions can be possibly made to meet these problems. For instance, if I were suddenly asked to pose a given situation to decide in 5 minutes when and where to suspend the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus, I have decided that there should be at least 5 questions that I would ask, and depending on the answers to these 5 questions, I would know when and where to suspend the privilege of writ of the habeas corpus.